Hey, this is Mike Addis. Thanks for joining me today. It is now November 6th. Well, I can't believe it. Thanksgiving's around the corner. Outsourcing is the title for this video. And outsourcing means having someone else do that I don't want to do. Or the reason why I outsource anything is because the people that I give the work to are 10 times better than me. So the primary reason for outsourcing for me is to give the work to someone who's better. And I'm going to give you several examples of things that I outsource. For example, I buy a lot of products, so I have to have it freighted in. I know the names of the freight carriers, but I use a freight broker. Sky to Sea, Sky with the number 2, C, like the letter C, up in San Francisco. And this is not a plug for Sky to Sea. I just use them because once I purchase the product and the funds have been wire transferred into the supplier, I just send an email to Monica and the product is picked up. It costs me to do that, maybe $100 a shot, where I could have saved $100. Say, well, if you do 20 of those a year, that's $2,000, or 30 or 40 shipments. How many shipments? I don't use. Well, I probably have that many. But what's the point? It's more cost effective for me to have to, do the bill of lading, contact the people who are shipping it, make sure the freight gets on the truck, make sure the truck is in transit, make sure everything is insured and secured. It may be an overpayment of cost, but it's way more easier for me just to send a text, pick this up and here's the information. Then Monica and the people at the warehouse work together. That's number one. Number two, another reason for outsourcing, let me sit around here a little bit. I can't build web pages. I can and I have built web pages. This is number two, outsourcing example. Number one is freight. Number two, I don't build web pages. I can and I have through GoDaddy. But the web pages suck, okay? I outsource my web page building. How do I outsource? I find a gentleman through Fiverr, or I get referrals. My outsource guy is overseas. His name is Ferris. And I just send him the directions. Hey, I need to set up an e-commerce store. Here's an example of what I want. And so I copy an e-commerce store that I happen to like, send it to him, and then he recreates the e-commerce store. So that's another reason for outsourcing. Hiring professionals that I can't do or don't want to do. Another one would be these videos. I'm doing the video because I have the content information. I'm the guy that's actually done this. But the video guy is going to reproduce the video so it makes it more interesting for you. He's going to put beautiful people in there and it's going to look really cool and it's going to be entertaining, because part of this is entertainment. If you're just going to listen to me and look at this face, you're probably going to just hang on for about 10 seconds or a minute and say, I'm not interested in that. But the video guy knows how to do videos. That's why I outsource it to him. Where do I find him? Well, I found him through many different formats like Upwork or Fiverr. You can put Upwork down here, you can put Fiverr. There's many places to find people. Sometimes those people want to continue in the platform they're using. They don't want to go outside. And a lot of times they want to go outside because Fiverr, for example, charges 20%. So the story goes, you're not supposed to go outside, but somehow they contact me and say, hey, you want to work direct. So that's number two. And you can pay them easily. I use PayPal Zoom. So you could just send them the money, let them do the work. There has to be a trust that's built up. So that's number two. Number three for outsourcing would be absolutely anything that you don't want to do. For example, I have e-commerce stores, but it's much easier for me to outsource the work to eBay or Amazon. Well, that's not really outsourcing. Well, yeah, it is. Because I have the opportunity to use my own e-commerce store, but it costs me 10 times more to promote my product, to get me in a position on Google. So I outsource that e-commerce, because eBay and Amazon are just gigantic e-commerce stores. People don't get that. They say, well, I'm doing Amazon and eBay. Amazon and eBay are just e-commerce stores. They're just mega e-commerce stores that were promoted. They have hundreds of millions of people come to their e-commerce store because that's what they do. They just sell stuff. Now, I can outsource on my own e-commerce store. Matter of fact, I had for us create me an e-commerce store. I have. If I used it? No, not really. But I have the e-commerce store to promote myself with other suppliers that want to see guys like me have e-commerce stores. So that's really the benefit for me, is I've outsourced my retailing through eBay and Amazon, and I've also outsourced my production of an e-commerce store. That kind of makes sense? The name of the game is you want to have other people do work for you. If it's too expensive to have the work done in the United States, you can go offshore. Offshore is where to go. And once again, using these platforms like Upwork or Fiverr will give you more cost effectiveness. Apple Computer and eBay, for example, when you call the customer service, you're hardly never ever going to talk to somebody in the United States. Why? Because it's more cost effective to use people outside than to do. I can actually not have to write my blog posts at mattiscash.com. Put that down there, mattiscash.com. But I write my own blogs because I'm kind of getting good at it, and I have all this software that helps me to do it. So I don't want to outsource my blogging. I don't want to outsource my content. That's why I do the videos, because I'm the guy that's got the experience, but I have to outsource this work to somebody else because they're better. It's more cost effective. What does cost effective mean? It's a lot easier for me to pay them than to have me spend hours and hours trying to figure this whole thing out. Search engine optimizer work, or SEO. I'm not a search engine optimizer guy. I have a wonderful young lady named Rupali, and she does all my outsourcing work. I just say, hey, here's more work. I put up more content. Her job is to get me into a position where the information is disseminated to the right people. I can outsource almost anything. The only thing that I don't outsource is I don't outsource customer service. So we handle all our 30,000 plus continuing growing customers because I want to stay in touch with the customers. It's hard to outsource that, number one. Number two, I don't outsource content. So I create content for you guys that are watching this video, and then I outsource to make it better, more entertaining. That's basically it. No additional information is added by the person that does the video. Vukasin is the guy that does the video, and he's in Serbia. So all this outsourcing happens all over the world, and it's relatively easy to do. It takes you a little while to build up a group of people. I have about 10 people now that I outsource things to. You can outsource packing and shipping. I don't personally like to outsource packing and shipping because I do mostly a small volume of product as opposed to shipping 10,000 units a day. But you can outsource by drop shipping product to other people. You have to watch the drop shipping video. I don't want to get to that. This is primarily how do I outsource work that I don't want to do anymore or don't have the ability to do better than someone else. That's basically the premise of outsourcing. This is Mike Addis. Once again on November 6th, moving towards Thanksgiving, the end of the year. Hope you enjoy these videos. We really like making them for you. We appreciate if you make a comment and also hit the subscriber button. Mike Addis once again from Carlsbad, California, and I will see you on the next video. Thanks for joining us.